Hi guys, and welcome back to the Library of Alexandria. Today we have Boosh, the end of the year book tag. Now, it's a little late to be doing this considering there's barely any time left in November and then there's just December. And so it's asking, this is a misnamed book tag because for me, the end of the year book tag should be done at the end of the year, not like this should be the last quarter year book tag, because it's really talking about like cleanup for the year. Like what books can you get done? What books do you need to get done by the end of the year? So we're gonna do it anyway. There's only 6 questions. Let us begin. Number 1, are there any books you started this year that you need to finish? I'm gonna say the Long Price Quartet. I started it and then I got distracted with an infinite number of buddy reads. Like, I'm talking about buddy reads so great that they have their own gravity. That is the amount of buddy reads that I have read. They have just combined, they have their own gravitational force, and they pull everyone around into their orbit. And you can't do anything, but you can't escape. It's buddy reads all the time. And so books 3 and 4 of the Long Price Quartet kind of got left on the shelf, and it really makes me mad because I want to read them. They were so good. And so I really want to read those for the end of the year. I am almost certain that I will not succeed because again, buddy reads, and more buddy reads, and collabs, and things like that, all of which causing intense agony to my desire to finish the Long Price Quartet. But hopefully January 2021, I can get that done. Boosh. Number 2, do you have an autumnal book to transition to the end of the year? What is this? What is this question? This question is pretentious. What is an autumnal book? Okay, my wife would have an answer for this. Christina would absolutely have an answer for this. She is much better at this, evokes kind of this feeling that it's a springtime book. She tells me all the time, like, I really want to reading this book doesn't really feel like a fall book, or doesn't really feel like a summer book. And I wish I was like that, and I am not. So I don't really know what an autumnal book means, transition to the end of the year. First of all, it's almost winter. That's one thing. Autumnal book. No, not really. I don't really know of any of my books that have that kind of like fall feeling. Maybe Promise of Blood, which we're reading next month in the Shelf Space Book Club as the official book club pick. It is, yeah, well, one of the second books, maybe the third book, one of them is called The Autumn Republic. So maybe that one, because it's about revolution and the downfall of empire. So that's what I'm gonna pick. Promise of Blood by Brian McClellan. Boosh. Number 3, are there new releases you're still waiting for? Yes, and it's called The Burning God, Amazon. What the crap? I order it the beginning of November, comes out November 17th. The day before it comes out, they're like, oh, by the way, you might get this sometime between December 1 and December 31. Hope you weren't looking forward to reading that. Well, guess what, Amazon? I was looking forward to reading it. So I don't know why I pre-order things if they're not going to be here on time. So let me tell you what I'm doing today. Today, I'm going to go to a bookstore, and if I can find it, I'm going to grab it, and then I'm going to cancel my dang Amazon order. So that's annoying. Still waiting on it. I just want to read Burning God, guys. I just want to read Burning God. Boosh. Question number 4. What are the 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? Okay, I'm trying to repeat answers here. Okay, so I must needs finish Malazan. I will be reading The Crippled God next month, and I will be, despite the fact that it is 1,200 bleeding pages and stops me from reading really anything else, I gotta read it. I have to read Crippled God. 1, because I've had this sword of Damocles for finishing. I restarted Malazan because it's important for you to know, especially people who think that my opinion on Malazan, because it is slightly critical, doesn't count because I haven't finished all 10 of the main books. Allow me to explain something to you. I have read the first 5 Malazan books 3 times. I've read the first 7 Malazan books twice. And I've also read 2 of the Esselmont books, the 2 of the side series. I just have not read the last book of the main series. If you think I'm going to read the last book of the main series and then all of a sudden be like, you know what? those problems don't exist. Any issue that I had with the series doesn't exist because I finished this. That is not how anything works. So that's one reason I'm going to get it done. Two, I started reading these Malazan books again last summer, and I read really one every month until I started BookTube, and then kind of fell off of that because after I read Return of the Crimson Guard, I just couldn't do it. I could not read one every month anymore. I just couldn't. Like, Return of the Crimson Guard took me 2 months to read. I just couldn't do it. So, definitely Crippled God. I'm also planning on reading the first Murderbot. All Systems Red, I think, because my patrons actually voted for that for me to read in December, so that'll be fun. And I've heard nothing but good things, and it is blessedly short because my December is filled with big fat honkin' books. And then I will also be dipping my toes into the Faithful and the Fallen series by reading Malice. I will be reading Malice in December, and I guess seeing what that's about. So yeah, I've heard it, like, I don't know, like I never picked it up to start with because I heard it was Vikings. And Vikings are like, they're like one of my least favorite of the ancient peoples. Not ancient, but like the historical peoples. The Vikings are, in my opinion, overrated. I should have put that in the unpopular opinions video because I think Vikings are super popular, but I don't love Vikings. I mean, I do like How to Train Your Dragon. So they're okay, but it's never really something that I really go to, but then I was told it wasn't even Vikings, so who cares, right? Anyway, I'll be reading Malice. Boom. Boosh. Number 5, is there a book you think could shock you to become your favorite book of the year? I can't even, I mean, maybe. Like, I still need to read Sword of Kaigen, which I'll be reading before the end of this month, before the live show in the beginning of December. So maybe that one, maybe it could shock me. I've heard nothing but good things. I've heard it's really, really good. I know Angela over at Literature Science Alliance loves this book. So maybe that one. Who knows? Crippled God could rock my world, and all of a sudden, like, it's my favorite book of the year. There are some really good Malazan books, guys. Please understand, being critical of something does not mean that you hate it. So, I mean, maybe Crippled God could be Promise of Blood. I'm actually hoping it's Promise of Blood because, frickin', French Revolution, Napoleon with gunpowder? What? Maybe The Burning God. It could be any of these. All of these I'm super excited to read. I just don't know, who knows if they'll end up being my favorite. Maybe Malice, and then I can talk about Vikings some more. Who knows? Any one of those. I like being surprised. I'm always fine with being, like, shocked. Boosh. And then finally, number 6. Have you already started making reading plans for 2021? Yes. So, in 2021 is going to be the year of the series. And I am really going to, in 2021, try to stop starting so many series without finishing ones that I have begun. So, that's why I want to finish Crippled God this year so badly, so that I have Malazan out from under me. So then I can focus on, I want to read more Dresden. I still have 16 books left to read in Dresden. I'm sure more coming out next year. So I do not anticipate actually finishing that series next year, but I do want to make headway into there. I need to finish Long Price Quartet. I'm going to be finishing the Mistborn trilogy. Later in the year, I'm going to start Stormlight, and that will be the big series that I read in 2021. It's only 4 books, so that's good. But I'm not going to start any huge series other than that one, hopefully. I may start Leviathan Wakes and The Expanse, which is 9 books, which is too many, but maybe. I definitely plan on reading, at least trying to read a Discworld book every novel, because I'm back into Discworld and I love Discworld. And if you're not reading Discworld, you should be reading Discworld. It's so good. So good. So yeah, I'll be trying to catch up on the series that are still coming out. Like, I'll be reading Jade War. I'll be reading Shorefall, book 2 of the Founders trilogy, as we wait for news for the 3rd one. And just trying to, like, close off those series rather than starting new ones. I'll also really going to try to go back and hit those books that the D&D minis chose. Because I don't like I don't like having books chosen for me and then me not reading them. So, Guns Above by Robin Bennis, Hyperion by Dan Simmons, His Majesty's Dragon, the first Temeraire book, and some of those other books chosen by the D&D Minis. I'm going to read those as well. And just try not to spread myself so bleeding thin. Now, there is a new Greatcoats book coming out next year and the fourth book of Books of Babel, so I will be reading those immediately, as soon as they come out, because I could literally not be more excited, to quote Chris from Parks and Rec. So, guys, that is the end of your book tag. If you haven't done this one, if you have waited forever like me, please do it. Thanks, guys, for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. Information for my Patreon and Discord is in the description, and I will see you next time, guys.